You're here listening to videos about how to market your sleep practice better, which means that your marketing efforts historically have probably not worked out well. And so why have you failed? Why have you already tried Google Ads, or building a website, or doing SEO, and have it not work? Why is maybe your dental marketing agency couldn't pull it off in sleep like they could in dental? Maybe your niece built you a website that never got any traffic to it. Why have all of these efforts failed you in the past? It's not your dental agency's fault. It's not your niece's fault, thankfully. It's actually the patient. And it's the fact that the patient doesn't share two of the attributes that make us do anything, let alone buy anything. And that is that they do not want or think that they need your services. So let that sink in. Have you ever done anything that you didn't think that you needed or wanted? Let's talk about wants and needs. Wants are pretty obvious. We want engagement rings, we want TVs, we want things that Instagram influencers have, things our neighbors have. You want it, you're gonna get it. It's just a matter of what fits your budget and who you're gonna buy it from. But needs are different. If you've ever had your air conditioning fixed before, or maybe your roof replaced, that wasn't something you wanted to do. In fact, you probably hated that you had to have march all these people into your house, get quotes, worry if they're lying to you about something or upselling you, trying to sell you a maintenance plan. You hated all that. You hated spending money on it, but you did it because your house was hot, because your roof was leaking. That's a need. A cracked tooth is a need. For a lot of people, going to a dentist is definitely a need and not a want. And we see that in the numbers, that 63% of people go to the dentist at least once a year, even though there is an actual phobia around going to the dentist. But only 20% of people are getting treated for their sleep apnea. So what's the reason for the disparity? Is that people don't want or think they need your services. There is such little pain associated with sleep apnea. Think about it. Most of the symptoms are happening while you're asleep. You can't hear yourself snore. You don't hear yourself gasping for air in the middle of the night. You're tired, but so is a lot of people, right? It's kind of a given that most people are tired. So not only can they not feel the symptoms, but then you think about what most patients think the treatment is gonna be like. They think they have to go to a lab to get tested. They think they're gonna get a CPAP. They're worried it's gonna be massively expensive. Maybe their CPAP gets recalled or because it gets them sick. So what ends up happening is that the perceived pain of treatment and the process of getting treatment is worse than the realized pain of the condition itself. So you can understand why patients have no urgency to move forward with treatment, why they're willing to bail on the process as soon as it sounds hard, expensive, or difficult. We all know the reality is that sleep apnea is dangerous. They can take years off of your life. We also know that treatment doesn't have to be hard. Testing can be done at home. You can get an oral appliance instead of a CPAP. It's easy to travel with, isn't noisy, doesn't have hoses. And then insurance can cover a lot of this. And so patients just don't know this, and that's where all of these marketing efforts come into play, to help educate patients and make them aware of the alternatives and solutions that are available out there. That's really all marketing's about. But because there's no urgency, we have to do more to move the patient through the process. And that's where all of these next strategies are going to come into place to move them forward through that, from a lead to a patient, get them to the door, to through your door and into the chair and to treatment.